Hi everyone, I'm here in the Beep terminal in Marikina, and I'll just show you quickly. Actually, a lot of their vehicles are already out on the road, but they've still got a few here. And why am I showing you this? What's special about the Beep terminal? I'm sure you've seen these on the road. Well, here I have Yuri from one team, and he's probably one of the pioneers, or the pioneer of the modernization program before it's even a government thing. Is that right?
Well, yeah, you can say that. Yeah.
Because, I mean, one thing I want to say is a lot of people have concerns about, oh, these new vehicles are too expensive, no one's going to be able to afford it, the fare is going to go up to 20 pesos. Well, if you look behind Yuri here, you can see there's already a modernized Jeep, and look at this here, minimum fare 8 pesos. Not only that, but your drivers are already on salary, right?
Right. Everybody's on the salary right now.
And
we shifted that from boundary to fixed salaries.
so you have modern vehicles. For instance, this is a Euro 4 diesel engine, right?
Yes.
He even has an aircon vehicle, which is you're testing out at the moment, right? An aircon jeepney. So you have these modernized vehicles. You have drivers who are earning a daily salary instead of relying on how many passengers they carry.
Well, right now the average passenger is around 600 to 700 passengers per day per unit.
Okay.
My drivers last month they earned around 23,000 to 25,000 for the month of September.
So that's already comparable with sort of a mid-range call center job,
Yeah, right.
So
and
they're earning.
We were able to pay the amortization of the brand new vehicles, pay the drivers of decent wages at minimum fare of 8 pesos.
And this isn't new. This isn't like the last few weeks, right? You've been doing this for years.
We've been running our fleet since September 2014.
September 2014. So that's already over 3 years, a little bit more than 3 years. So this is something that I want to show people at home, because a lot of people, I think, misinformed. Like the fare is going to go up to 20 pesos. There is no way the driver can afford to buy that unit. Now, one of the things with the modernization and with your own private scheme here is it's not the drivers are owning it, right? It's more of a corporation. I mean, how would you explain it?
Well, right now, the model that we're using is that we purchase the vehicles, we replace the vehicles of the existing operators, so that there won't be any social displacement.
Right.
We're trying to minimize displacement, and on the premise that the jeepney modernization is all about inclusive growth.
Right.
It's all about making the drivers and the operators, giving them a more stable job,
Right.
a better living for themselves.
Because with you, they're guaranteed a monthly salary,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So it's more security for them. They can be sure, I've got a future here. It's something that I can be proud of, and something where I can really, I can pull myself out.
Yeah. Well, yes. Again, modernization is not about changing vehicles. It's about changing the business model,
Right.
Changing mindsets from the drivers to the passengers and even to the government regulators. We have to change everything. And the only meaningful change is something like the jeepney modernization program. It will take some time.
Right.
And it will take a lot of effort from everyone, including you guys.
Yeah.
And that's the main ingredient for any success. We all have to help each other out.
Yeah. One of the things we discussed earlier is how having control over the routes, because right now it's a free-for-all, right? Everyone's out there competing against each other, which means it's so inefficient, because you see so many Jeeps going around with just one passenger or two passengers. But with you can actually you can try and organize it and make it more efficient. So instead of having, say, 50 Jeeps all going around with just one or two passengers, you want to try and have fewer Jeeps but better optimized, so you have more people per vehicle, right?
Yes. As we have seen earlier today, in Philippines, Alabang, we operate around 15 electric jeepneys in Philippines, Alabang. And since we are the exclusive operator inside the Central Business District,
Yeah.
we can pinpoint the loading and unloading areas along the route.
Right.
And because of that, we can actually implement the 5-minute to 10-minute intervals between vehicles.
So it's really more like other countries where, yes, you may have to wait a few minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes for a vehicle, but it's going to reduce traffic because you've got less vehicles going around, starting, stopping. So in the end, it may feel like, oh, I have to wait for a jeepney instead of immediately jumping on, but it's probably actually still going to be faster.
Yeah, you're right,
thanks
right.
to being organized,
It's about being more efficient.
being more
By
efficient.
being more efficient, then you will be able to afford to pay your drivers better salary.
Yep.
You can afford the amortization of a brand new vehicle, even if it's 1.6, 1.7, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Because when you're operating it under a fleet management, you share the risk. You spread the risk. You spread the amortization obligations.
Right.
And if you share that risk, then everything becomes easier.
And when something goes good, everybody benefits. When something goes bad, that risk or that damage is shared between so many people that you don't feel it so much
Right,
yourself, right?
right.
It's not so like, oh, this is really going to damage me. It's shared between so many people.
Right. And that's what we call inclusive growth.
Inclusive growth.
Inclusive growth also means you have to share the responsibilities.
Right.
Not only sharing in the good times, but you also have to share the responsibilities.
Right. And I mean, let's just take a quick look at one of your Jeeps, because I know a lot of people have seen these going around. I see you already have the side entry door instead of the back.
Yes. Euro 4.
It's also very wide, very tall. You have the Euro 4 engine. I mean, look at this. I just want to show this again. For people who are saying it's going to go up to 20 pesos or that it's impossible to, cover that kind of cost, that's not true, because you are literally doing it, right? And not only are you doing it, but you've been doing it for years.
Yes, exactly,
And
Stephen.
actually, that's one of the things is that apart from people saying, oh, it's not possible, they're too expensive, no one can make any money, it's not going to work. I forgot what I was going to say now.
It's like this. When we first operated the old jeepneys, using all the jeepneys, our gross income was around 3,000 to 4,000 per jeepney per day, and using the old jeepney.
Okay.
And coming from that perspective, the operator will of course see that the 1.6 million of the brand new vehicles, I mean, is too steep. The price is too steep.
Right.
So, but when we shifted to brand new vehicles, immediately our income jumped from 4,000 per day to around 6,000 to 7,000 per day.
And why is that? How did that
Because
happen?
it's brand new, we run it more efficiently.
Okay.
And we run it on the fleet management system. We know exactly when to dispatch, where to dispatch, at what time.
Right, that's the benefit, because right now there are so many Jeeps, especially during off-peak, that are just roaming around.
just roaming
have
around.
One passenger, two passenger. They're still wasting
Consuming fuel.
Exactly.
And that's cost.
Right.
And if you can minimize that cost, then your income will of course jump.
Right. And of course, because it's a Euro 4 engine, you're spending less on diesel in the first place.
Right.
Now, one of the things that I get in my inbox every day are people who say, I've got a jeepney, or my friend, my dad, someone's got a jeepney, and I don't know what to do with this modernization program. How do I get involved? Do you have any kind of answer for that?
Well, right now, all the existing operators who have a franchise have to join a cooperative. And the government have lending program, a good program for the cooperatives.
Right.
And the reason why is because we don't want to leave anyone out.
Okay.
And this is what the entire program is all about: inclusive growth, reducing poverty, and making sure that everyone will share in the benefit of the modernization program, from drivers to operators.
Now, my understanding is that anyone who doesn't fit in with the new program, Tesla are ready to actually give them training, even in other areas. For instance, they could become welders, or there's different opportunities. So even those who don't quite fit into the modernization program, they're not going to be left behind or kicked out or kicked down. They're going to be retrained, and they're going to be helped to make sure they can still have a livelihood.
Example in this case, when we came to this route, what we did was to retrain all the drivers and making sure that the drivers are well trained,
Right.
properly managed. The operators are also with us. There's no social displacement at all.
Right.
That's part of what we do as an advocacy. This is part advocacy, and of course as a business as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I love the fact that you're really thinking of everyone. Like, it's not just, oh, I want to make money, or you're really thinking of everyone. But at the same time, it's a business and you are making money. And I think that in itself proves that it can be done. It's doable. It really, I mean, I know I keep repeating myself, but it's such a big concern for a lot of people that it can't be done. But you really have proven that it can be done, and it is being done.
Yes.
And I think that's important, because people, it doesn't matter how many times you tell them, they want to see it with their own eyes. They want to see like, oh, where's the jeepney? I want to see it on the road. Where's the driver? I want to see that the driver's earning a wage, you know, a good salary. Are you able to say like roughly how much your drivers are earning?
Well, last month, our drivers earned around 23,000 to 25,000. And that's good money for someone who haven't finished college.
Yeah, it's very
And
good.
we also cut down the number of working hours from 16 to 18 hours. Now they're down to around 10 hours.
10 hours. So it's a much better life
It's a
for
much better
them.
working environment.
Right.
As we've talked with one of our drivers, he said that comparing it with his old ways, he prefers to drive the beef jeepneys.
Right. And I'm guessing it's much easier as well because it's a modern jeepney.
Yeah.
The gears are going to be better, the
Right.
suspension's going to be better,
Steering wheel.
everything.
So I'm pretty much sure that everyone is afraid.
Right.
Drivers are afraid, operators are also asking a lot of questions.
Yeah. Let's just wait. Okay.
Yeah. But we are here to help. It is one of our advocacy. From the time we established the electric jeepneys in Philinvest Alabang, in Makati, and now we're here developing a new business model for everyone to follow.
And aside from these Euro 4 diesel jeepneys, you may have seen in my previous video the Philinvest electric jeepneys, and you've been involved in e-jeepneys for like how many years? Since 2007, something like that?
Long time.
A long time.
A long time.
So again, I mean, if anyone has any questions out there, this is the man to go to because you have
Okay.
so many years experience in e-jeepneys. You have years of experience in this modernized style of jeepney with the salaried drivers and the modern vehicles. I mean, if I could have 2 hours with you, I could probably fill it up with questions. So I appreciate your time today.
Yeah.
It's really useful information.
Part of the modernization program is to inform everyone of the
Right.
benefit of this program.
And I think that's one of the areas that needs a little bit of improvement is informing everyone so they really understand and you know they really benefit from the program.
And I understand people are very afraid of this, but remember this one. Poverty is not brought by changes. Poverty is brought by the refusal to change. And if you keep that in mind, and knowing that there are people, groups, and the government as well here to help you,
Yeah,
we will make sure that everyone will be part of this program.
very wise. Okay, thank you very much for
Of course.
answering questions. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching.